welcome back to Winter 89 Colors. My name is Melissa and I am here today with the very most exciting of all of the videos on the channel. Although it seems like my graveyard videos might actually be starting to sneak up there and become the most favorite. If you haven't seen those, go ahead and check them. I'll leave a link to the latest one down below in the description box. But anyways, the most favorite of all the videos, that is my completed pages video. So I have a few things I need to go through in this, and I'm going to do it all in one video, but I am going to put timestamps. I'm going to put timestamps down in the video description, so if you don't want to see or want to see a very particular part of this video, then you can go down there and skip to whatever it is you want to see. So disclaimer, this is probably going to be a pretty long video. I mean, they usually are, but this one may be of a little extra length because I'm going to add in my Project Mythical mini update, and I'm going to add in all my color by number pictures for the month, which I've never done before in one of these videos. So this should be interesting. I will be doing stats at near the end of the video, either before color by number or after color by number, but it will be closer to the end of the video. I won't bore you with that to begin with. So this is my coloring journal. I've got it nice and kind of decorated up. There's not a ton of room for decorating, so I didn't go crazy, but it looks like I'm doing pretty good. Progress-wise, in January, I made it to 31 pages in 27 different books, not including my color by numbers. The only color by numbers that I did include are a brand new one that I got and my #hero ones. Those are included in this. However, the other ones that are older and I'm just trying to finish, I'm not including them. Any that I buy going forward will be included, but not the old ones because, bleh, you know. All right, so let's keep going. So we've got our plans here. Just got a few things. My bookshelves are starting to fill up. You can see this. I've got lots of books worked in. I have no problem working in multiple books. That's not an issue at all. So these shelves are probably going to fill up faster than the year moves along, and I'm probably going to have to make another one of these pages. I should have left one blank so I could photocopy it, but whatever. Anyways, so as you can see, it's not quite the end of January, but I knew I'd need a couple of days to do all my editing and get all my buddies' pictures together and all that stuff. But the reason I'm filming it now is because I have completed the last of my buddy colors. All my buddy colors, all my predetermined pages are completed. If there's anything that happens between now and then, I may insert it in the video. If not, well, then I'll see you in the next month. Aha. So as you can see, I have all my buddy colors laid out here. We had a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5, a 6, a 7, a 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 buddies, and I did a bunch of hashtags as well. I will go through those as the pages come up. As you can see, I was diligently keeping track of all of the pages that I did. And whether I posted them or not on Instagram. I still have to fill in these. Again, that will go with the stats that you'll see. I did color in 5 untouched books, so that's very exciting. And we've got that ready to go. Okay, so that is all I have to show you there. Let's get on to the pages. So the first thing I'm going to do, and again, you can skip this if you don't care, but I'm going to give you a little update on 50 Mythical miniatures and Project Mythical minis. So for those of you who are just joining us for this, I'm running a hashtag that is designed to complete this Camellia Angel Kova book. We want to finish it by 2026. Those of you who are not so ambitious and just want to play along a little bit here and there, that's totally cool. I'm not pushing anybody to do something that they're not comfortable with, obviously. If you can't keep up with that, there's nothing wrong with that. You do you. But I am pushing myself to try and finish this book by the next coming year. So we've got our plans here. I've been keeping track of which pages we've completed on this little grid I made here. I've got my plans for which pages are going to be going in which month right here. So those are coming up in a second. I'll show you. But first, let's flip through what has been done and, you know, where we're at. So this one was October's page. You can go back to previous videos. I'm not going to go through any of the ones that were done in previous months. I'm only going to go into detail in the ones that are from January. So first one we did, this was October, November, still got lots to go in this. We got work to do. This was December. There is a video on the channel if you'd like to see how this page was done. Is an option. It's up on the channel. This was one of the ones from January. There is a video of this up on the channel as well, so if you'd like to see that, you're more than welcome to go back to my channel and find it. But this was completed on January 16th, and I based it using alcohol marker, Ohuhu alcohol marker. I did the shading using Britt Frontier pencils. We've got Posca for some of the, like for this purple around the flowers here on the outlines. I've got Super Golden marker for much of the outlining. I've got Sakura Glaze for the eyes here. MAB watercolors on the moon here for that gold glitter. Neo Color 2 for all the background. And then I used mixed glitter with a matte polymer and satin varnish mixture for all the magical glitter in the background. Again, there is a video up on the channel if you want to see all of this in more detail. But this was a really fun page. I very much enjoyed doing it and doing it on camera. One of my favorite pages, I think, in the book so far. It turned out just so fun. All right. This one is a previous one that we've already done. Did it before I even started the project, actually. This was from November. This was also from November. One of my favorites in the book. We've got the Harpy. This was December. This was also December. Very shiny. Also December. This was November. Lots to go, my goodness. Okay, this one was from January 24th. It's the most recent one that I did. I did not do it on camera, sadly, but turned out fantabulous. There we are. So I get a few extra glitters going on. So this one was based with Ohuhu alcohol marker. I did most of the shading with alcohol marker as well. The background is acrylic paint, just matte acrylic paint. I've got super golden markers for some of the accents here and a white gel pen just for a few of the little highlights. Super golden marker, I use that for accents like the door here and claws and hooves and a little bit on, and of course I had to rewrite hippogriff there at the bottom. And then my homemade glitter glue on the back using, I believe, Hemway glitter, but that turned out fabulous. So rather simple in concept, but turned out really, really fun. So yeah, so that was the hippogriff that we did in January. This was another one we did in January. Again, this was one that I did off camera. It was based in Ohuhu alcohol marker. I shaded using Color pencils. The background is Joy-In Paints Tempera paint sticks. I used a heavy body acrylic medium to do all of the snow accents. As you can see, the Color pencils actually bled into the white along here, but it just looks like part of the magic. I'm not worried about it. And of course I had KJ Design by Karen paint for all this chrome metal. And it is chrome. My goodness. And of course I used some homemade glitter glue for on top of the snow. That was a really fun page to play around with. I didn't expect it to turn out quite the way it did, but it sure did, and I am happy with it. Yeah. And the final one, this one. This is partially up on the channel. The background was done with my Paul Rubin giant oil pastels. And the problem was that after I did that background, I accidentally fixed it using my permanent varnish spray. I meant to use my workable fixative. The cans look very similar and I just grabbed the wrong one. That's why it's so very glossy and shiny, but it made doing the rest of it very, very, very difficult. Luckily, because the Amazon paper is so absorbent, it was possible for me to use my Ohuhu alcohol markers and Artex pencils over top. It was just a little bit tougher. I just had to give it a little more oomph. And then I used I think that this is MAB Watercolors paint over top of all these bubbles here. But yes, it was based in Ohuhu alcohol marker, shaded with Artex pencils. I put some glitter and drills and beads using super glue on top of this varnish and oil pastel because it would not stick with regular glue. It kept popping off. I had to use super glue. As you can see, I've got like diamond painting drills and I've got these little like bubble things. All in all, it's not my favorite page. It's okay, but I messed up. First of all, it was my first time using these particular oil pastels, and they behave differently than I'm used to in my other oil pastels, which, you know, I should have tested them first on something else, but this is what we did. And then again, using that varnish spray really messed everything up. So it's not my favorite. It didn't turn out spectacularly, but it's done. And it was a learning experience. And from now on, hopefully I'll be able to learn from that and use it moving forward. So yeah. So that's that. That is all she wrote for 50 Mythical Miniatures. Now, we do have to address the next thing, which is what are this coming month's pages going to be? So, for that, we have the first one is number 6, the dragon. And this one was chosen by you. This was up on as one of the options on the poll on my community tab, and it was one of the options that you guys voted for and chose. So it will be the first option for February. Okay, and the next one is number 25. This little turtle guy who I haven't learned how to pronounce that name yet, so I'm not going to until I figure that out. But this one was chosen randomly. I put this into a random spinner and this is what came up. So it's very appropriate for those of you in the Southern Hemisphere who are in summer right now, which is awesome. So that's number 2 for February. And number 3 and 4 were back to back, and that is 37 and 38. 37 was my choice for February, and also known as February. So I chose the fairy with her bee and snail friend, and we all know how much I love the bees and snaily whaleys. Oh, I'm so looking forward to this page. It's going to be so much fun. Oh, so cute. Snaily whaley and bees. Love them. All right, and the final one. This was, again, a vote by you guys. This is the Hydra. No background here at all, no context whatsoever, so we could do something very simple or go pretty complicated with this background. It gives you a lot of room to play. All right, so once again, those options were number 6, number 25, number 37, and number 38 for Project Mythical Miniatures. Ta-da! All right, that's done. Coffee time. Alrighty, let's move along and get on to the pages. Now, these are roughly in the order that I did them, but that's not a hard and fast rule, so, you know, it doesn't really matter. I did date most of them. I'm getting much better with keeping track of my pages and writing down what I used and all this kind of stuff, so be proud of me, people. Be proud of me. All right, so let's start. Okay, yeah, definitely not a hard and fast rule that they're in order, because this is not in order, but here we go. So the first one I've got on the pile here is this young lady. And this was one that was done, this is a PDF, a freebie that Lana Green was giving away on her website, and it goes for the hashtag AWA Fabulous Freebies run by Amy Ward Art. So every month for this year, she's going to be running this hashtag, which promotes artists who are illustrators who are giving out freebies with no strings attached. So you can go download their picture, print it off, and it costs you nothing. So this month was Lana Green, and this was the picture that she had chosen, named Birthday Girl. And this was, of course, because it was Amy Ward's birthday this month. So I based her in Ohuhu alcohol marker. The background was done with Neocolor 2s activated with water. This was my first time really truly doing a full page on this Nina cardstock. I don't know if it's the correct Nina cardstock that you all tend to use. I could have just picked the wrong cardstock, but I wasn't a big fan of it. It behaved a little weirdly, but again, maybe I bought the wrong one. So let me know exactly which Nina cardstock you recommend. But anyways, so I based her in Ohuhu alcohol markers, Neocolor 2 backgrounds. I used Prismas for all of the shading. That includes the balloons and these blueberries and everything that you see shaded, her hair. I'm happy with the way all of that turned out. I thought it was fabulous. I put a little bit of dimensional magic on her buttons here, and a little bit of Jelly Roll Stardust for the balloon strings, and just to give a little shine to her eyes. But other than that, nothing really spectacular. It's all just basic shading. This is probably my first portrait I've ever done, my first realistic human picture. So it's not perfect, but it was a good start. I'm happy with the way the hair turned out. The skin shading didn't go too bad at all. This unusually mild color palette was also a bit different for me, but that is okay. Let me just find the details for it here. Just want to look in my book. I know I wrote more down about it. Ah, yes. Why did I write down Inktense? It was not Inktense, it was Neo 2. Silly me. Good thing I checked, right? There we go. So this went for the AWA Fabulous Freebies hashtag, but it also went for hashtag 2025 Out of the Box Bingo, which is run by eArt Studios and Juliet Annette Art. And I have that right here. I printed it out, I laminated it so that I would not forget. And so that was Muted, Portrait, and Realistic I put in there for that one. I allowed myself. So I thought that that turned out pretty well. And as you can see, I've already got one line for this month. Nearly made a second if I had just done something steampunk or underwater. I did pretty good for this month. I think that's what I'm going to do. Every month with this, I'm going to start over. Yes, that's what I'm going to do. Anyways. But yes, so that is Lana Green's Birthday Girl. I thought it turned out acceptably, given that this was a big first for me on many elements of this page. So, put that back in its protective sleeve before I make a mess of everything. There we are. All right, moving right along. The next one I've got here is Enchanted Faces by Hannah Lynn. And we did this. Find the page for it here. Enchanted Faces, yes. So this is called Melinda and Moo Moo. And I thought that this one turned out just adorably. So it's based in Ohuhu alcohol marker. And I used a little bit of pan pastel for shading on her face and like her blush and whatnot. Color pencils did the rest of the shading. I used acrylic paint pens for all the fur effects and hair effects. I used Winsor & Newton white ink to splatter the snow everywhere. I've got folk art glaze glitter in the background to help with that snowy glittery effect. Yeah, that's about it. I just chose this one randomly just for fun. I just wanted something to do, something quick, and this one just appealed to me, so I grabbed it. I don't think I ran it for any hashtags or anything, so yeah. So that is Enchanted Faces by Hannah Lynn. Next up, we have 130 Hugo Scenes. This book was a gift from my dear friend Juliet at Juliet Colors. And I chose this one again rather randomly just because I was in the mood to do it. And this one was done with Ohuhu alcohol marker. I've got acrylic paint pen, of course, to white out the lines. I've got some KJ Designs by Karen paint. That's the chrome on their little skates there. I've got heavy body acrylic white for all the snow detailing. I've got folk art sparkle varnish to create the ice effect down here. Jelly roll white for little accents such as the little dots on her face. And then I've got, oh yes, more KJ Designs by Karen in the sky here and the clouds to create that, that glitter effect. Pretty much everywhere, all over the page, I've got some kind of KJ Design by Karen. But yeah, I thought this was just a cute little picture. My Mr. Winter and I were planning on going skating at some point this winter. It hasn't happened yet, but hopefully we will. So I kind of modeled it after us a little bit. But yeah, very fun, very glittery, very sparkly. Enjoyed that page. So that is 130 Hugo Scenes by Coloring Book Cafe. Next up, I have Dimensions by Francois Gauthier. And I completed this B page. And this B page was as per Candace at Happy Catastrophes group buddy, where we are doing one of these every month as a group. I struggle with this book for some reason. I don't know why. I have a really hard time coloring it, but I needed the boost of the group to help me out with it because I just was not getting anything done in this rather simple book. So for me, it was all based in Ohuhu alcohol marker. And then I used some Ohuhu water-based markers for a little bit of the shading here and there or some of the finer details. I've got Sakura Glaze for some detailing on her eyes and on her jewels here, that kind of thing. I've got Languo gel pens for some of the details and some of the white lines, or some of the black lines being whited out. Some Ohuhu acrylic pens for the same deal. And obviously we've got glitter. We've got so much glitter. We've got MAB watercolors all over the B here to create that gold glitter. And then I've got the folk art, no, not folk art, Deco Art glitter glaze on the wings. And I've got MAB watercolor for that iridescence between each of the honeycombs. You can see there that color shifting one. That's an MAB watercolor. And there we have it. So that is the B in Francois Gautier's Dimensions. Next we have Twilight Garden by Mythical. And I've done this one here, this cat page. This is a buddy color with my friend Veronica at Veronica Dunn 66. We're going to be doing this opposite page for February. But this one was a bit of a disaster. I used my brand new Distress spray stains for the background, which looks good. I used masking fluid for all the images and everything. I spent a whole whack load of time using that to make sure it would work properly. And then I even masked off the side and made sure everything was all nice and clean so I could use this stain safely. And then I mixed up my water and my alcohol cups. So I accidentally dripped alcohol all over it, which of course bled through. So this is going to be a disaster trying to clean this page up, but I believe in myself and I will do it. So if all else fails, I'll do it completely in acrylic paint, whatever we have to do. But anyways, so I used the Distress stain for the background, which still turned out quite nice looking on this side at least. I used Brute Funer pencils for pretty much everything else, and I used the Caran d'Ache blender stick. Hold on, where is it? Here we go, the blender stick, you know, this one, which helped to blend those Brute Funers together on this paper, which worked out pretty well. Was there anything else that was specific to this? Oh yes, and I used some KJ Design by Karen paint for the little details of the flowers. That nice gold there, and then some Sakura glaze for the eyes. So this turned out quite well, all things considered. And of course, Veronica's turned out fabulously. Thank you, Veronica, for buddying with me. This was an absolute fun adventure, and I can't wait to do the next one this month. That was Twilight Garden by Marie Trolle. Next up, we have Worlds of Wonder by Joanna Basford. And this one was a whip from a while back. Back when I was kind of obsessed with doing watercolor backgrounds, I was just picking pages out of books willy-nilly and doing, playing with my watercolors. So this one turned out pretty good, and it was really, really fun. I don't think that the paper liked it very much. It didn't go as well as I would have liked, but that's okay. And then because it was so busy and such kind of a mess, it was kind of hard to do a main subject feature, but it did turn out. And it looks okay, but it is a lot of different colors that don't really mesh together as well as I'd like. So I'm a bit on the fence about about this page altogether. However, so the background was the Artistro watercolor, including this iridescent one that came with the set that I got. Really beautiful iridescence. I did the bed itself in Prismacolor. There's lots of KJ Design by Karen gold all over the bed frame. I've got some MAB watercolors as well in there, just for, I think, the railings and whatnot. But yeah, that's about it. It turned out absolutely beautifully. But again, I'm just a little bit it's not my favorite page, let's say that. But at least it turned out. So that is Worlds of Wonder by Joanna Basford. Alrighty, so next up we have, this is a newly touched book for me, Alice in Colorland, the Chibi edition by Nia Nora. This was a gift from my dear friend Juliet and Mandy. All right, and we did this together while we were on a face call together. We call it our tea parties. Occasionally we do those. And we did this page while chatting away together. So I based this all in Ohuhu alcohol marker and did all the shading with the alcohol marker as well. We've got acrylic paint marker for all of the lines are obviously all blacked out. And all of the little like windows and everything, they're all glittery. I did them all with different Etsy paints. So I've got Renaissance, MAB, and KJ Designed by Karen paints for all those different glitter accents that you see. Absolutely stunning. I love those Etsy paints. They're just gorgeous. Here are Mandy and Juliet's. You can have a look at them. They did an absolutely spectacular job, and it was such a fun time being able to hang out with them and just chat while we just all kind of did our thing. We all colored the same page and came out with different results, and it was absolutely fabulous. So thank you very much, Juliet and Mandy, for buddying with me in this book, and I look forward to the next one. That is Alice in Colorland by Nia Nora, the Chibi edition. Next up, we have Lulu Mayo's A Million Little Monsters. And this was also a buddy color. This was a buddy with my dear friend Chrissy Wilcox, and we did this lovely, as I call it, Snowy Peaks page. So, this was a heck of a bit of work. So all of my base work was done with Albert Dürer and Polychromos. The Albert Dürer were activated, and then I just used the Polychromos to do some accenting over top. I've got all of the black lines whited out using acrylic pens. I've got KJ Designed by Karen and Super Golden markers. And Renaissance colors in there as well. So we've got all, and MAB. Oh my goodness, I can see them all. Again, I've used all my Etsy paints. I've just been on an Etsy paint kick lately. I have several of them that I want to be using, so I've been putting them in there. Up here, we've got, for the sky, this is the Deco Art, or the Folk Art varnish, glitter varnish. I thought it turned out rather well, rather splendidly, very simple in concept, but it took a while in execution to get it done. I love the wings on that butterfly. That pink, that's the Renaissance Chrome Pop collection. Yeah, so here is Chrissy's, and of course hers was absolutely fabulous. Thank you so much, Chrissy. I just love how much glitter she used. I remember her telling me that like she was really able to let loose on the glitter with this one. Like, you know, I'm so glad that I can encourage people to just go crazy with their glitter, right? Like, it's so important to be able to have that outlet and to feel creative like that. So great job, Chrissy. Amazing glitter. So happy that we were able to do this together, and look forward to the next one. So that is A Million Little Monsters by Lulu Mayo. Oh, and that also went for the Lulu Mayo Scavenger Hunt, January 2025. The hashtag by, I believe is it Julianne Annette Art? I'll put it on the screen. Anyways, we have metallic mandalas, and we have this hot mess. Yeah. So The deal with this one is that I wanted to do it for Meg's Disney Mandala Challenge, which she does every month. And this month it was Anna from Frozen. So Princess slash Queen Anna. And I hated this mandala. It was my least favorite in the book. I looked at it and I was like, ew. Like, I never, ever would color that in a million years. But I was like, I want to finish this book one day. So how am I going to color this? So I decided to go in with my Artistro watercolors and just did what I normally do with backgrounds. I just put tons of water and different colors and I just splooged it all together and sort of made this mosaic or not mosaic, but like this abstract background. And then I traced over a bunch of the black lines using different acrylic pens, super golden markers, that kind of thing. And I thought it came out okay. I should maybe black out the background because of all these splatters, but you know what? As I said when I posted it on Instagram, it's a hot mess, but so is Anna, really. So it's fine. It works. Yes. Alrighty, so that is Metallic Mandalas by Sparkpool. Alrighty, the next one up is Wonder Morphia by Kirby Rosines. And I did this one, and this was once again another buddy color. And this was with my dear friend Hannah at Hannah Renee Art. And I based this all in Ohuhu alcohol marker, which is something I've never done in a Kirby page before because, well, they're generally not one-sided, and this one was one-sided, so everything was based in Ohuhu alcohol markers. And then I used my polychromos to do all of the shading and detailing. I've got some Jelly Roll glaze for his eyes and his fangs, acrylic white paint pen to black out to white out the clouds, and then folk art dragonfly glaze on him and the clouds. And then I've got just some silver gel pen for the water. Really simple, but tedious and time consuming with all of those little details, the grass and the mountains and everything else. I don't at the moment have Hannah's, but if I do by the time this goes up, I will put it here. I'm sure hers is amazing. She seems to really put 110% into every one of her pages, so I'm really looking forward to seeing it when she does manage to send it over. So thank you, Hannah, once again for always being there to buddy with me. And that is Wonder Morphia by Kirby Rosines. Next up, we have Cozy Nooks by Coloring Book Cafe. And this one I did to try and do more of my winter bingo. I did most of this in December, but I was able to get cake done to finish this line. There's only one I didn't finish. I didn't get the penguin done for some reason. Otherwise, I would have had a full card. Who knew? Anyway, so I did this one to get the cakes out of the way. You can see all these little cakes down here. So it was based in Ohuhu alcohol marker. The background is acrylic Simp Tap markers. You've got Artex pencil for shading. Jelly Roll white for some of the little highlights on the trees and whatnot. Dimensional Magic on the case for the glass here. And then some gold Sino just for little accents around. Very simple, but effective, I would say. I love the way that those cases turned out with the Dimensional Magic. This was also a gift from my dear friend Juliet as well. So thank you, Juliet, for providing this for me. That's Cozy Nooks by Coloring Book Cafe. Next up, I wouldn't normally put this in the colored page section. I would normally put it with the color by numbers, but I did use this for a hashtag. Where is it? Just gotta find it in my pages here. I know I put it in here. Ah, here it is. Sorry about that. Tome 11. And I used literally every acrylic I own, or at least every type of acrylic I own. And this was for the hashtag Color Disney with Meg, because this month her Disney movie was WALL-E. And I spent a couple of days getting this guy done. I've got Thule Arts, I've got Ohuhu acrylics, I've got Poscas, I've got just like old school no-name craft paint, you name it. Every acrylic that I could pull out had to go onto this page. And it turned out fabulous. I'm really happy with it. You know, there's a few streaky spots, but ultimately, when you take a step back and look at it, look at the whole picture, it looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. So thank you, Meg's Coloring Corner, for hosting that hashtag. That is WALL-E in Les Grands Classiques, Tome 11. Next, we have Tales from the Witch's Cottage by Hannah Carlzon, and this was a gift from my dear friend Christy at Color with Christy. And I finished up just this simple little title page. This was again a whip because of my obsession with doing backgrounds. So I did this one using soft pastel, and then I splattered iridescent watercolor over top. And then I colored this little bottle, and then I put Dimensional Magic over the whole thing to make it nice and shiny. There's also some MAB glitter over top. I believe this was all done with Prismacolor and then some pastel gel pens to get rid of the black lines. Right there is KJ designed by Karen, that gold. But yeah, it turned out beautifully. And this was an untouched book, but this also goes for Meg's ABC Color Challenge because the letter was J and this is a jar. So I thought it turned out lovely, and it is a start in this book. As you can see, I've got lots marked as options, but still got to get into it. That's Tales from the Witch's Cottage by Hannah Carlzon. Next, we have A Frog's Tale by R.J. Hampson. And I did this one. This one was a buddy with my dear friend Liz at Lizbeth47. And I based everything in Ohuhu alcohol marker. I used Artex pencils for all of my shading. And as you can see, I've got all kinds of different glitter accents. I've got Dimensional Magic on the window, the picture frame, on the little fishbowl there. I've got some glitter pens. I've got Jelly Roll Glaze. I've got some homemade glitter glue on the flower centers here. Lots of really fun stuff. Glad I got it done. I thought I captured the glow from the fire fairly well. I think I'm getting the hang of that. And of course, here is Liz's. She did a fantastic job, and I'm so glad she was here to buddy with me. You know, thank you, Liz. I really appreciate you helping to push me forward and get these pages done. And I really look forward to the next buddy that I get to do with you. So that is A Frog's Tale by R.J. Hampson. Next, we have Gabby Wolf's Christmas, a cute and easy coloring book. I was, again, in the mood to just do something simple. I just wanted a quick and easy win, so I did the nameplate page here. So this was done with Grabby alcohol markers, Uniball bronze, which is what I wrote my name here in, and then I used my homemade glitter glue for the bows here. Just again, a really simple, easy win. I have to dust some of this glitter off. I'm always dusting glitter off. And there we have it. So that is Gabby Wolf's Christmas Cute and Easy. Next we have Frogs and Friends coloring book by Chris Reiniak. This book was a gift from my dear friend Emily at eArt Studios. Thank you, Emily, for making my life fantastic by having this book to work in. And this goes for the hashtag Frogs and Friends Color Along, run by Meg's Coloring Corner and Amanda Colors. And I based this all in Ohuhu alcohol marker. I used Simp Tap acrylic paint pens to do the background and to draw in the clock and the frame of the bed. But yes, I did this both for that hashtag, but also for 2025 Out of the Box Bingo, where you draw in your own element. The clock and the bed were not there. It was just this little frog, this sleeping frog, his pillow, his stuffy, and his blankie, and that was it. But I saw this page and immediately realized that this was Mr. Winter and myself in the mornings. Me, of course, unhappy about the situation, and him having more energy than is warranted. I've got some regular old dollar store glitter glue to represent Mr. Winter's glow in the morning. I've got some dimensional magic on the bedposts here. I've got some stickers for the numbers on the clock. So this was a really fun, simple one. I'm getting better at making these simple pages my own and enjoying the process. Yeah, so that is Chris Reiniak's Morning Scribbles, Frogs and Friends coloring book. Next, we have Christmas Bold and Easy by Jade Summer, and I did this one for Coloring Biker Mama's hashtag. CBM in the Spotlight, and the spotlight this month was Jade Summer, so I did this one. And this is our little snowman pillow here. This is all based in Ohuhu alcohol marker. I used some super golden markers for accents. Of course, there's tons of homemade glitter glue all over this page. The background is Winsor & Newton soft pastel underneath all this glitter glue. And yeah, that's, oh, and so, yeah, some super golden marker. I said that. But yeah, this was, again, a simple one, but still really fun. Anytime I add this much glitter to a page, you know I'm just having a good day. Or a really bad day and I need to perk me up. I guess I'm just always using this much glitter. Super fun little page. Really enjoyed that. So yeah, that is Bold and Easy Christmas Coloring by Jade Summer. Next up, I have the page that was most daunting to me, and that is in Anamorphia, and that was dun, 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 this huge double deer page. And this was a buddy with my dear friend Karen at My Colorful Country Life. So I'm sure she knocked this out of the park. I haven't actually seen her completed page yet, but I'm sure it's fabulous as always. She does amazing things with her pages, and I just can't wait to see it. I'm sure it's amazing. And of course, if she does have it done, I will put it in here. Fabulous, Karen. Thank you so, so much for doing this with me and pushing me to get this page done. Mine is all done I based the deer and like the main elements using Alberg Dewars, and then I used polychromos for all of the details and shading. The background is Neocolor 2s activated with water. And then I've got some homemade glitter glue on these little clouds here and a few Jelly Roll metallic accents, but otherwise I just left it really simple because it is such a dauntingly huge page. I didn't want to get too complicated and stress myself out about it. So I just kind of left it as it was. So here's our cool side. This also goes for the 2024 Out of the Box Bingo for warm versus cool. Got my cool side here. And I've got my warm side here. This is the one advantage of this book falling apart, is that I can pick each of the pages up and work on them separately. Yeah, so that is my page in Anamorphia. Thank you so much, Karen, for buddying with me in this. I can't wait to see your page, and I can't wait to do our next buddy together. And that is Anamorphia by Kirby Rosens. Next up, we have Mythographic Magical Earth by Joseph Kattenbang. And this was also a buddy color. This was a buddy color with my friend Wendy at Jazzy Doodle Designs. For my page, I used Inktense to base everything. And then I used Prismacolor to do all of the detailing, including all of this gold, all the keys and everything. I used Posca to do the black border. I used Languo gel pen for any white lines or black lines that needed whiting out. And Jelly Roll Copper for just some accents on the jewelry down here. I was really worried that I messed this page up. Like, I did this outer background and it was neon yellow. Neon, like it was so bright that it hurt my eyes to look at it. And I was like, oh no, how am I gonna fix this? But eventually I took some Inktense and like put it on a palette, and I just sort of like painted it on and then rubbed it in with my finger. I used like a moss green color. I can't remember the exact color, but it was like an olivey moss green, and I just sort of rubbed it in with my finger, and that actually helped to really tone down that neon yellow color. So it turned out pretty good, all things considered. Very, like, no glitter sparkle. There's just a little bit of that Jelly Roll Copper just down on his jewelry here, and that's it. That's the only sparkle on the page. I just felt like it was such a hefty page that it didn't need a bunch of added glitter. It was just good as it was. And of course, here is Wendy's. Hers is always going to be spectacular. I mean, what can we say? Jazzy Doodle always gets the job done, right? So thank you, Wendy, so very much for buddying with me, for encouraging me to do another page in my Mythographics. I really appreciate it, and I cannot wait to do the next one. It's going to be fabulous. That is Mythographic Magical Earth by Joseph Kattenbang. The next one is in Mythic World by Kirby Rosens. And this was, once again, a buddy color. And it is this beauty right here. Ooh, this was an undertaking, as all Kirby pages are, right? But I really enjoyed this process, and I'm really happy with the way it turned out. So this was a buddy with Color with Christy, my dear friend. The background I did with Neocolor 2s and MAB watercolor. So it started out as an accident. I didn't realize that my brush still had a little bit of glitter on it from the last time I had used a glitter paint, and it started creating this glitter, mess in the background. So I was like, oh goodness, what am I going to do? So I just grabbed this gold glitter from MAB and started mixing it in, like picking it up on the brush as I was activating the Neocolor 2, and it actually turned out really nice. You can see that the way it shimmers in the light, it turned out really beautiful. So then everything else I did with Prismacolors. I did all the shading on her dress and everything, and I like the way that if you squint, this looks like it's see-through. Same with the lace down here. I kind of wanted it to look like see-through lace. I whited out all the lines using Languo gel pens. I've got Renaissance color paint on top of all the clouds and everything. I've got my homemade glitter glue on the moon here. I used a matte medium because I didn't want the moon to outshine this beautiful gold ribbon, which is KJ Designs by Karen Gold, by the way. Yeah, a lot of extras, but at the same time, I feel like it's simple enough and cohesive enough that nothing really gets lost. The rabbit gets a little lost because he's such light color, but I didn't want to darken him up. I felt like maybe he's supposed to be lost. He's supposed to get lost in the clouds and everything because he's an elusive creature, right? Camouflage. So I left him the way he was, and I thought it turned out lovely. Lots of accents and glitter and yeah, really happy with that. And of course, here is Christy's. Hers turned out absolutely beautiful too. I love that teal. I think it looks just wonderful against, you know, within this page. It really makes everything pop. So thank you so much, Christy, for doing this with me and encouraging me and sharing with me as we were doing this. I cannot wait to do the next one. I think it's going to be fun, and I'm sure we'll find something just as challenging and fun to do. So thank you so much. And that was Mythic World by Kirby Rosettes. Then we have Matchstick Mouse, a floral coloring book, and I did this one. This was a buddy with my dear friend Hannah Renee. And this one was based with Inktense. I did some alcohol marker work. Oh, no, I didn't. Oh, that's right. I used Inktense, but I used a clear alcohol marker to blend it and activate it. That's why, yes. And then I just used acrylic to get rid of the black lines. I used some Winsor and Newton white ink to splatter the snow around, and then some acrylic paint in the background, and that is it. Very simple, but it looks really fabulous. And once again, no glitter. Very matte. The whole page is entirely matte, which is, again, strange for me, but I feel like it still looks just beautiful. On the rare occasion that we don't need glitter. And that is Matchstick Mouse. Oh, of course, here's Hannah's. Thank you for buddying with me, Hannah. It was so fun. I love how different our pages turned out. Just a really fun kind of opposites attract thing happened there. Just lovely. So thank you, Hannah, for buddying with me in that. And thank you for the next one, which I know we're going to be doing in this book as well. So that's a floral coloring book by Morgan O'Brien. And finally, we have Matchstick Mouse, a springtime book, and I finished 2 in here. Both were buddies with my dear friend Kate from Kate's Coloring Haven, and we're going to be making this into a project book. The first one was this little guy. This was done with Ohuhu alcohol markers. I used some super tips for the shading. And then I've got Joy and Tempera sticks for the background. This went for the 2025 Out of the Box Bingo for monochrome, markers, and animal. Again, no major sparkle. A little bit of like shimmer on the background here because of the paint sticks. That's about it. It really gives it some depth and makes it look like we're in a tunnel, right? And of course, here is Kate's. Absolutely adorable. And then the next one we did was this one. Mine did not turn out as zen as I had planned. Obviously. I ended up going rather neon with it. But I based everything in Ohuhu alcohol markers, including the back there, that sunset type of situation. I thought it looked really nice and zen, so then I thought I'd mirror it around the outside using the tempera paint sticks. But they turned out hecka more neon than I planned. But, oh well, it's fun. I used some dollar store glitter glue for the clouds, and the rest was all done with acrylic paint pens. So yeah, a really cute little page. Of course, here is Kate's. Simple and zen, the way the page was meant to be. Of course, she understood the assignment. I apparently didn't, but that is okay. So thank you, Kate, for buddying with me and for making this our project book. I cannot wait for the next one. That is Matchstick Mouse, a springtime coloring book by Morgan O'Brien. And here we're going to go into the end, the wrap up. We're going to do some of my color by numbers, and of course my stats. All right, so let's get to this. So I have my stack of color by numbers here. I don't have a whole ton of them. Hopefully one day I would like to get more, but I do want to work through these ones as well, because the thing about color by numbers is that in most cases I don't have to be in a particular mood to do any particular book. Obviously, I think there's 3 categories. There's like the mystery, the like stained glass, or I don't know what else to call it. It's like, you know, the stained glass ones, or the other ones where you can already see what the picture is. You're just trying to figure out what the colors are. Or there's the mystery ones, like the pixels and the dots and all that kind of stuff. And then there's the hashtag heroes. They're just their own category altogether, right? So, all right, so let's have a look first at hashtag heroes. So I only have the 2 books. I've already shown you what I did this month in Les Grands Classiques Tome 10. But I'll show you again just real quick in case you're just here for the color by numbers and you missed it. And then I also have Vitraux. So, in Les Grands Classiques, this is my whip in here. This I'm doing in pencil for some reason. Don't ask me why, but I decided I wanted to try to do this in pencil. And it's going okay so far. I haven't popped back to it recently, I think just because I don't feel like pulling all the pencils out, but it's fine. It's fine. And then I have, this is the one I just did this month in January, the Wall-E page. And this was done all using This was done all using acrylic mediums. So I've got acrylic paint pens and acrylic paint itself, like this blue-gray backdrop was all done with just straight acrylic paint. And the rest was done with acrylic paint pens, whether it be Ohuhu acrylic paint pens or Thule art or even Languo gel pens were probably popped in here, but this turned out pretty well and I am pretty happy with it. And that went for the hashtag Color Disney with Meg. I do also have 2 other completed in here. I finished this Bambi page last month in December. And I finished this page whenever I got this book. I think it was November, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, all went well and I'm enjoying working in this book and hoping to do another one this month. The next is Vitraux. I just have 2 done in here, or 3, 2 or 3. Didn't mark them because I'm not smart. So here's the first one I did. Again, I think this was either November or December, the Tweedledee Tweedledum page, and this was done all with Simp Tap markers, the Artex Simp Tap. Nothing fancy, but it gets the job done. And then the one that I did this month was Rapunzel. And in this one, we used, again, a variety of acrylic markers, mostly Ohuhu. I did use some super golden marker for like these suns and stars and stuff and little baubles, so it is a little bit on the shiny side. I outlined her with a pink one as well, and I put Jelly Roll glaze for her eyes. Very shiny, very fun. Fun colors. Colors you don't use that often in your coloring, I find. At least I don't. So I enjoyed being able to use those colors. And that is all in Vitraux. So the next up, I think I will pull out 100 Quest. And I've already shown you all these ones at the front, so I'll just do it real quick. I did do a few at the front in pencil. way back. And then the rest I've been going from back to front. That's how I'm differentiating in most of my books as to what I've done previously and what I've done more recently. So we've got, this was September. I'm glad I started dating that. It makes my life a lot easier. October, November, November again. These were all done with super tips, by the way. November again. And here we're in January. So I did this one with super tips. A little deer. Very cute, very fun, simple. And then I did this one as well. Oh, I forgot to mark it. Don't know exactly what, oh, I think I did write it down in my book because I do have enough sense to do that. Write things down in my book. So I've been keeping track of all of my completed color by numbers. 100 Quest, where are you? As you can see, I did a lot. 100 Quest Palace, that was on January 20th. So let's get out a pen here. There we go. Write that down. Sorry if you can hear my coffee maker in the background. I'm not actually making coffee, I'm making tea. Caffeine-free tea at that, for later when I stream today. I've got one coffee already made, but one coffee is enough for the day. Okay, did I do any more? Yes, I did. This one was done with super tips as well on January 21st. Shoe flowers, how strange. But that's it. That's all I've done in this book. So that's 100 Quest, color by number by Sun Life Drawing. Right, so the next one that I'm going to show you is color by dots. And this is a Spark Pool book. I don't think it has an author listed. Illustrated by Liza Murphy and Salmon Parker. Okay, Liza Murphy. So, I don't have a ton done in this book, but I did do 1 or 2 in here. So this is my current whip that I may never get back to, as I've mentioned in other videos. It's so tiny, and I started it in fine liners, and that was such a pain, and I don't know, I might move on. This was done in November. This was done in December. But the one that I did was this one. So I based this one in Grabby alcohol markers. I used the blue and the pink in Grabby alcohol markers, as you can see, to do the most of it. And then I went over top using super golden markers, or no, not super golden markers, but my knockoff super golden markers. Like, so these metallic paint pens by X-Pow Fay. They were what I used to do all the rest. So very shiny. Kind of hard to tell the color differences a little bit because of all that metallic, but it doesn't really matter. It works out. Yep. So again, just something simple, something to pass the time when I didn't have the brain spoons to be coloring anything that required my definite attention. That's Color by Dots by Spark Pool. Next is a new book to me. This is Circulism Art Books, Color by Number, Chonk by AJ Quinnell. I couldn't resist. The little fat pigeon on the front just sold me. I don't have any other AJ Quinnell books, but I've got a lot on my wish list. So as this one starts to run down, I may consider getting another one because they're kind of fun. But I just did the very first one on the page, and I did this one using Crayola Super Tips. Now this is a very premium paper. It's very glossy. So I wasn't sure how water-based markers were going to take on this paper, but they actually handled it quite well. So I was worried I was going to have to use alcohol marker for this, but I don't think so. I think that that water-based will be acceptable. So that's good to know. But this is the only one that I've done in there. I did this on January the 19th using my Super Tips. So yeah, cute little panda. Yeah, nothing crazy, but I got lots more to do in this book. Very excited to see the other chunky animals because obviously pandas are already chunky, so it's just a regular panda. Although with different colors. So that's Chunk by AJ Quinnell. Next up, I have Sash and Sash Diva's Stained Class Collection, 50 color by number pages. So these are all previous. But this one I did in January. This one was based in Ohuhu alcohol markers. And then I used Artex pencils. I should write that down. There we go. So we've got Artex pencils and Ohuhu alcohol markers. And I think it turned out quite lovely. Just that little bit of shading elevates the page so much more than just doing the colors flat, don't you think? I think that's the only one I did here in January. I don't have a ton done in here. Did lots in October for Halloween. Yeah, that's about it. Okay, so that is Stained Glass Collection by Sash and Sash Diva. The next one I have is by Sash and Sash Diva, but I'm not going to show you all the pages because I went ham trying to finish this book this month. So there are a ton of completed pages in here that I did in January, but I have a full flip through of this book completed on the channel. So I'm going to leave you to go find that if you want to see more in this book because it is a complete flip through. You have both the option of me chatting through it and just the silent flip at the end of the video if you'd prefer to skip to that. So I will try to remember to link that down below. Next, we have Baby Animals Mystery Colors by Jo Bartos. September, July. Ah, yes. This one was December. I remember this. I have to put that in there. It was a goat for my birthday. But this is the one that I did in January. I did what I call coloring it wrong. I took out all the colors that they had put in and I replaced them with my own colors. So we ended up with this fun neon bunny. And I quite enjoyed that. I thought it was a lot of fun doing it in different colors that you normally wouldn't see. I just made sure to line up the darker versus lighter colors and it worked out perfectly well. You can still tell exactly what it was meant to be. So that was really fun. I used Ohuhu acrylic markers for that, by the way. Don't think there was anything else in here for January because I was working on Jo Bartos's other book I wanted to finish. Oh, I did this one. Got this little wallaby. Adorable. Chunk. And that was done with mostly Ohuhu acrylics as well. There may have been some Thule arts in there just to make up the grays and what have you, but yeah, there was that. That was August. September. Yeah, I think that's it for that. So that is Mystery Colors Baby Animals edition by Joe Bartos. And then we have Mystery Colors Regular Animals, and I completed this book this month. But I did not do a full flip of it, so I will show you a quick flip. October, November, way back in the day, last year at some point, November, December, cute little game pig, December, see, and this is why I did that other one in random colors, because I knew I'd already done it in the regular colors. So this is what it was supposed to look like. January, here's a January page. So I did this one mostly with Tule Arts, but the background was done with actual craft acrylic paint. Ooh, chonky sheeps. Cute. This one was January as well. Might have gone a little bright on the pink. Nope, that's it. I finished it. So if you want to see a full flip through of this book on the channel, let me know. But yeah, that is Mystery Colors by Joe Bartos. And finally, we have Mystery Pixel. We have Mystery Pixel, the Halloween edition. This is by, who is this by again? I don't remember. Here's the ISBN if you want it. Yeah. So this again, I went from the back. September, October. Did quite a few in October for obvious reasons. December. Here we go, January. Did this Skeleton Wizard. Super Tips. And then I did this guy. I think he's supposed to be a mummy, I think. A zombified mummy with a pumpkin head. I've got some dollar store glitter glue on the moon back here. But otherwise it's Super Tips. And these little owlets. Super Tips again, a little bit of dollar store glitter on the stars. And then we've got these little pumpkins in a tree, Super Tips again. Super Tips again for this trick or treat bag. It's got my backing sheet in there still. This little guy, and I used some gold acrylic paint, some Amsterdam acrylic paint for the circle. Maybe that's the moon, I'm not sure, but. And then I did this one with Super Tips. And I still have a few pages to go in here. Not a ton, though. Maybe a dozen or so. That is Mystery Pixel Halloween Edition. And by the same creators, we have Enchanted Marine Mystery Pixel. Here we go. Okay, so we have here. This was Super Tips, but the background was acrylic paint. Super Tips, but a silver gel pen just for accents on the anchor. Super Tips except for the water, which is crayon, and the sky crayon. This book uses a lot of blue, so I found alternatives for most of my blue in here because I didn't want to just use up all my blue markers. This one was done entirely in acrylic paint. Some of them iridescent. This one was Super Tips, but gel pen, glitter gel pen for that figure looming in the background. And this was all Super Tips as well. So again, maybe a dozen or so left in that. So that's getting close to the end as well. I like these 3x3 pixel ones. My Super Tips fit perfectly in them. But that is it. That is all there is. So I'm just going to share with you some quick stats, and then that's the end of the video. Alrighty. Here's what we have left. We filled out all these numbers. So I participated and completed 10 buddy colors this month. I also completed 10 prompts and or challenges. I completed 32 pages out of 28 books. So I completed 28 out of 202, which is not too bad. It's a good chunk. Which leaves us with, I completed pages in 5 untouched books, leaving us with 37 out of 73, my goodness, 73 out of 202, which is 36% untouched, which isn't too bad, all things considered. I was aiming for below 25%, but given how many wonderful books I was gifted this season, I'm not complaining. We'll work that down within the year, no problem. So I'm not going to focus on that too much. So on Instagram, we added 39 followers. Thank you so much to everybody who's followed me on Insta. And on YouTube, we've gained 107 subscribers. So thank you to everybody who has subscribed or liked or commented or shared or done anything else on my social medias of whatever platform. I really very much appreciate it, and you're helping me out greatly. Finally, plans for next month. Again, we're keeping it loosey-goosey. I don't have a whole ton. I have it, and I have an idea for a tag or a series that I want to think about, but I still have other things that I need to complete first that I still haven't gotten around to, such as my Rita Berman mini. That I started last year, roughly in the summertime, and I haven't had a chance to get back to doing it, but I'm going to get back to doing it this year. It is going to happen. It's just having the time and the spoons to do so. That is going to continue. I'm thinking about doing a Color It Wrong series where the whole goal of the page is to color it in an unusual way. So for example, we're not going to color the horse brown, we're going to color it green and red stripes. You know what I'm saying? Like, we'd want to try and do, get us out of our comfort zone, get us out of this concept that we're going to be having to color everything realistically, that kind of thing. But anyways, that's a work in progress. We're not sure of that for sure. We're still going to be considering continuing Project Mythical minis, obviously. But what has concluded is the Winter for Winter 2024 series. That is over now. I'm going to be having a look back and seeing how many people participated, and I don't know if I'll do anything for it, like a slideshow or a video, or I'm not sure. I'll have to have a look and see, but I will have a look, and thank you for everybody who participated. So I believe that is the end of everything you need to know about January. So if you're still here, leave me a star of some kind. A star because I survived the first month of the year. Yes, let's go with a star of some kind. Or you know what, anything celestial. Star, moon, sun, it's all good. Well, sun is a star. Anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you for being here. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment. There will be a list of my more commonly used products down below in the description box if you are looking for them. I am an Amazon affiliate, so it would mean a great deal to me if you were going to purchase. Please purchase through my links. It gives me just a couple of cents and it gives me some clout with Amazon, and it doesn't cost you anything extra. Enjoy the rest of your day. Happy coloring. Toodaloo!